Well, good morning. The title that I've chosen for this video is a question. Are we almost there yet, Daddy? I can remember those 4-hour trips to Grandma's farm in Pennsylvania when I was a boy. It was an exciting time filled with expectation and impatience. We children would ask the question several times. Are we almost there yet, Daddy? Even today, I sometimes feel that impatience, as if I'm still a child wanting to reach the promised land. The ambassador tells me that the elders in the family are not impatient. In fact, patience is one of their noble characteristics. As part of humanity that still struggles for freedom, I can see that patience is not common for most of us. As I've said many times before, we are weary and tired. Many have a restless soul. As I meditated this morning, nothing stood out as a message that I needed to bring. I prayed for the various people that I pray for. I prayed for humanity as I normally do. I see myself more as part of a collective than as an individual these days. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just the way that I think, and I identify a lot with the struggle. I sometimes wish that wasn't the case. I know there have been many times that I've felt excited, as I did as a child, wanting to get to Grandma's house and knowing that I was going to get there. Here's the problem that I see today. I'm not sure we're going to get there. That's the problem. The arrival at the destination is less clear to me today than it's probably been in my entire life. Most of my life, I have felt that being able to achieve heaven on earth, or the kingdom of heaven manifested in a physical reality, was a given. Nothing could stop it. It was what God wanted, and therefore it would happen. Something has happened to me since then. I no longer have confidence, even in the word God. I no longer have confidence that there is a good and a loving God that wants the highest and best for me and for all of humanity. I want to believe there is, but I want more than just belief. I've been disappointed so many times, as so many of my brothers and sisters have. It no longer seems that there's only a good God that wants good for us. Sometimes it seems just the opposite, that there's some evil deity that takes delight in disappointing us, in letting us suffer, in letting us bang our heads against the wall again and again, in life experiences that demoralize us instead of edifying us. I know there's a whole group of people that play the positive mental attitude game. I've played it myself, and many of us have, that have been on this path for some time. And yet what we see in the real world is more and more scheming, more warmongering, more rumors of war, more theft of property, theft of value, more challenges to our human rights, more of everything that we don't want. Now I know there are people that say, Ron, yeah, keep focusing on what you don't want, Ron, and you'll get more of it. And you'll get more of it. Well, that's because, as I see it, there must be some sadistic creature that doesn't understand communication. I am known more, or I know more, what I don't want these days than what I do want. Because what I don't want is what I'm faced with day in and day out. And it hurts. And I am weary. I am tired. I am restless. I feel all of these emotions. I feel these things. And I'm angry and disappointed and saddened that it takes so long to accomplish something good. And I just can't buy into anymore the lying to myself, the pretending, the faking it, the wearing of masks. That me, that hypocritical me that I've toyed with, that role that I've played so many times in my life, is not fulfilling. It's no longer meaningful. It seems like a sick joke, a sad refrain, and it repeats over and over and over again. I'd like to believe that this restless spirit that I am experiencing and have been for some time is an indicator that I'm getting close, that we're getting close to the destination of finally having the good start working. No, I don't believe that we create our own reality. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I think it's just another lie of the Matrix to disappoint us. I don't look, as I've said many times, for money. I don't look for positions of authority. I don't look for a lot of things that people seem to think are the important things. I look for the intangible things. I look for truth to prevail. I look for justice. I look for compassion and love and healing. I look for the things that are going to mend my spirit, that are going to thrill my soul. Truthfully, I don't experience very much of that anymore. I wish I could say I did. When I became involved initially with RUSA, it was an exciting time. I felt like I was finally connecting with people that were making a difference, even though it was a small group of people. We were at least doing something and at least going somewhere that was important for all of us and for humanity. I felt the same excitement when OPPT was announced and the foreclosure on all of the fraudulent corporations that were operating in the world. It was an exciting time. And I felt like finally we have the legal, lawful means of accomplishing our goal. Of course, I felt it with Swiss Indo as we worked together on the project of creating documentation of what the new world could look like and how the corporation structure could be taken down and how admiralty law and canon law could be abolished and how we could set a foundation and lay a foundation for people based on common law that was based on truth, based on common sense and based on natural law and natural rights that were unalienable. It was exciting. It was exciting when I began talking with the ambassador and the Dragon family, thinking that, well, I'm going to be going to China. I'm going to be meeting with the elders. I'm going to be experiencing some of these things with the family. And I'm going to gain some clarity. Where am I near the end of the year in 2014? Well, the truth is, I don't know that I'm ever going to go to China or Hong Kong or anywhere other than where I'm already at. I no longer have a destination that I can believe in. Because unless the world changes radically, I don't think it's safe to travel as a United States citizen. My United States passport, to me, is just a meaningless document that cost me a lot of money. My world passport was stolen. My international driving permit was stolen, both by the Fort Pierce Police Department. They still have them in their possession. What I see is no let up in the game, the sick game that's being played by the Matrix, by the cabal. As people are brainwashed, as my friends do not have the same vision that I've had for so long. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but these are the things that I'm feeling this morning, that I'm sharing with you honestly, as I promised to do. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not going to be a cheerleader. Some people can play that role. I guess I've played that role myself at times, because that's what I really was feeling and what I was really believing. But today, in December 2014, I'm very, very weary. I'm not hopeless, but my hope is not strong that we're going to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish in any reasonable framework of time. As I said, I thought 2011 would be the time that we would begin to see tangible changes, physical changes in our world that would uplift humanity. Then I thought, well, it didn't happen in 2011. Maybe it is December 2012. Maybe that is the time that marks the beginning of the new earth, the new world for humanity, the kingdom of heaven. 2 years later, it still hasn't happened. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Maybe it's the holiday season that brings with it not just always joy, but sometimes deep sadness and melancholy, even sorrow, where we reflect on losses or reflect on dreams that didn't happen. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you the truth where I am. And if there is a heavenly daddy, if there is a loving creator, even a loving mother, a god and goddess who nurture their children, like I see my daughter and her husband nurture my grandkids. They're good parents, better parent than I was in many respects. Perfect? What's perfect? All I know is that I see good characteristics in how they treat the children and how they take care of the children and the patience that they show. I don't think I had that patience with my own children when they were growing up. So I'm glad to see some improvement there. But I'm still tired. I'm still so tired. I've wanted this so badly for humanity. The real manifestation of kingdom of heaven on earth, and of relationships with the Father and Mother God, relationships with extraterrestrial friends, relationships with my brothers and sisters, relationship with a lover, which I don't think at this point in time will ever happen for me. Anyway, this is the prognosis, or the report anyway, on where I am emotionally and spiritually on this day at this time. It could change tomorrow. Do I expect it to? I've given up. In this moment, I've given up on expectations. And I take everything one moment and one day at a time, because I'm tired of building up hope only to have it dashed again and again with disappointment. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I appreciate all of my brothers and sisters that are part of this struggle, and I wish that more of us would get on board and take the action that I think is necessary to bring the changes that are essential if we are ever to have a world that works for everyone. Thank you for listening. Namaste.